I saw so many people approach Substack the different way, and I think the wrong way, trying to build an audience first and then decide later how to monetize without any product. But they start with the idea that they will monetize in the future, but they delay the solving of the problem where you should actually start with this.
Welcome to the Podcast Authority Architect. I'm Jen Dragonette, podcast strategist, founder of Dragonette Productions, and someone who built a top-ranked podcast by going against everything the industry told me to do. This show is for the thought leader, the change maker, who's done performing for strangers, building something by someone else's strategy, and ready to build a podcast that actually leaves an impact through real relationships, real growth, and a platform that supports the business and life you're building. Because you're not here to be a ripple. You're here to make a tsunami. Let's go. The way that you set up your quest and your unsalesy sale, that's what got me, right? Because I went to Substack. I went online looking for how do I do Substack? And then I went on my podcast player. That's where I learn. A lot of times I like to listen. And nobody had any. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'm just going to go on the platform. And you popped up. And it was something that you had written. And I'm like, okay, I'm in. She knows what she's talking about. I'm going in. And it's changed a lot. So I came in probably 3 months ago, let's be honest. And I started about a month ago going on the quest. And yes, I've rebranded my Substack. It was story selling for entrepreneurs. Now it's built on story. Because I realized that since yours is unplugged, I don't have to be so matter of fact because it was feeling like a box. But I also look at it from that lens. So the positioning on the price, what am I teaching? What is the value from this? So each one of my posts, instead of social media of how can I get their attention? Yeah. I'm looking at it can I make it faster? Can I streamline this in some way? How do I do this? So I really appreciate the way that you structure, this is how we approach Substack, and I'm not ready to turn it on. And you're like, just turn it on. And I think that shifting from the perspective of look at me, what's the story? I still have the emotion story selling base of my base of my entire platform, but I'm approaching it from your approach from the quest. And like I said, I haven't even gotten to the grow part and all of those things yet. I've just fixed the foundations and it's already brought me a client from that. I didn't say I had one-on-one. We just had a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's great. Yes. That's also why I wanted to build this quest, and I call it a quest because that's also my differentiation. I saw so many people approach Substack the different way, and I think the wrong way, trying to build an audience first and then decide later how to monetize without any product. But they start with the idea that they will monetize in the future, but they delay the solving of the problem where you should actually start with this. And it's if you think about it, in the physical world, it's as if you're opening a store and you're selling nothing. So there are people coming in the store and you're giving them stuff for free, for example, free coffee. So you open a store and you say free coffee, but you have to pay the rent, you have to pay employees, and so on. And if you go on notes where the discoverability is, it's as if you're paying advertisement to attract new people coming into your store just to get free coffee. That's not a business. That's not a business. The problem with this approach is that eventually when you launch a real product, chances are that your audience is the wrong audience. And that's where most people struggle with sales. Actually, that's one of the biggest problems is just you have built the wrong audience. And when you realize that you have worked 1 year, 2 years, I don't know how many months, and put so much effort because it's an effort that you have to put to build that audience. And then you realize that you don't have the right people in your list. You have to start all over again. And you don't want to be on that place. It's a place you don't want to be. Yeah.
No, I'm glad that I found you at 19 subscribers. I think I'm up to 40 right now, but I'm also in this shift of rebranding my whole entire business based on your quest. So I think that just like podcasting, Substack is a place where you can kind of find yourself and shed the list that doesn't fit and move into something better. But I do think that I don't think anyone can sit there and just be like, here's the foundations of my business. Here's my ideal client. we do that and we've done it so many times. But if you're not in a platform where you can get feedback and have conversations,
Yeah.
it's just going to be an uphill struggle the whole time. And that's what I truly appreciate about Substack. Like, you have different chats. So if you're using Instagram, you can make group chats and things like that. But like, it's not the same. These are like community chats where you're showing up, and you offer something that I think is unlike anybody else, is you have the ability to do these challenges for free to just
Yes.
keep yourself accountable. So even if you don't have the foundations down, it helped me because it's like, okay, I am showing up every day. I am posting every week. I am posting once a month in my paid program now.
Mm.
And it's because of your accountability challenges that I'm like, it's that sometimes we need that outward validation, that outward push to go. And I really appreciate that about your Substack, whether you're in your quest or in some of your paid things. Just the ability to be able to do that is, I mean, it's changed the game for me.
Yeah, yeah. And thank you so much for saying this. That's actually why I built this. Community is a big part of Substack, and actually, if you go there, so for us who are already on this platform, the majority of the people agree that it's actually a different type of platform, a different space where you really feel that you can have meaningful conversations and create real connections with people to collaborate with, and also to become friends if you like, and those connections also can become business again, can grow into business relationships as well, and partnerships. And it's the only place that feels so authentic and so natural to do that without the transactional mindset of LinkedIn, or X, or on Facebook or Instagram as well. You really feel real connection with the people, and the community is a different part of different type of community. I would say those people have the mindset and the intention and the expectation to see something valuable out of you, out of your newsletter, out of your Substack or podcast or video. You could create a vlog as well, and they're ready to pay. I have never seen such a high conversion rate. So my conversion rate of people who come from Substack up, those are the people who find me through my content, from notes and from my posts, and also from the interactions that I do on the platform. It's about 10%. So 10% from my free subscribers coming from the app are becoming paid subscribers. And that's huge, really, compared to like industry average is between 1 to 3%. And if you like source your audience from social media, it's roughly 1-2%.
If
Ideally
you're
3%.
lucky.
If you're lucky, yes, yes.
On
So
a good day, if you hit the
yeah,
lotto, then that's what you're getting from social media.
yes, yes, exactly. And on Substack, we have that. Just people expect to buy, and also you could reach out to people, and if not anything else, you could simply exchange recommendations, and those recommendations work automatically. And the conversion rate from people coming from recommendations for me is about 5%. It's less than the app, but it's still high. It's really high, and they work really very easy. It's like it's set and forget. It's automatic growth. So when somebody recommends you, and when they get new subscribers, those subscribers are also prompted to subscribe to you because this person recommends you. It's simply a great platform. I cannot stop repeating that. It's the best place to start a business right now. And it's also great for podcasters. What I think actually is podcasters. And you guys are sitting on a gold mine. You could extract the transcripts out of your entire content and build a content library like this, like in an instant, really, and turn it, like decide which part of it to turn into a product or a service or something that you can put behind the paywall. And the type of the paywall, like the paid subscription that sells really well, is when you add something tangible. So, for example, I don't know, PDFs, worksheets, frameworks, formulas, even AI prompts, if you wish. Those are selling really well. If you can figure out a way how to make this tangible without physical products as well, but something that feels as if the buyer is gaining ownership, can download it, save it somewhere, print it out, then that's huge. That's really huge.
Yeah. That's what I learned from you.
I only had a bunch of like 100 articles on Medium when I joined, when I Substack, and big part of them were not so good because I was learning to write online. So
Yeah. Yeah, I came with 500 episodes and some of them were with
that's huge.
experts. But I also wanted to share that, like, it isn't as hard as you think, and you don't repurpose and just let AI do it. Like, we always, again, I'm going to keep going back down of, like, even with you teaching us how to use AI, you're like, make your tweaks, make it sound like you. Because I don't want us to be another repurposing platform. Like, that's what's happened. That's what's blown out all these other things, is that it's so much crap that's out there that people just scroll by. And I think that I read it on a notes, and it was like, readers are leaders. That's why Substack is amazing, because they're people that want to go deep. That's just the same as a podcaster. We want to be on the podcast because we go deep. And I think that this is so important. But I know the one thing that's on everyone's mind is, oh, great, another platform. How much time do you think you have to dedicate? Because you still do have to engage. Like, you can go, like, there's some algorithm, but you still have to engage. How much time realistically, not with the creation, not with the writing stuff, but do people have to be on the platform engaging to expect any growth? And I'm not saying like we have to go viral and, make millions out the gate, because, like, for me, I used to have a free, every month I did a free group coaching call. I just put that behind my paywall.
Yeah.
So now you have to pay $10 a month to go to the call that used to be free. So like, you don't have to make this complicated. But, like, how much time realistically does somebody need to grow, do you think, on Substack?
It's not like social media in any way. It's much easier, much easier. So, for example, on X, you have to be there 3 times a day for about 2 hours or something like that, What I do, I write notes. So Substack recommends posting about 3 to 5 notes per day, and that's really okay. I am posting, so I tend to like to overperform from others. So I'm posting about 10 per day, but it takes me about 15 minutes a day because I'm using my custom GPT for doing this, for drafting. I have already a lot of data and a lot of content and a lot of context that I have given this GPT to write for me. So it takes me really 15 minutes to edit and schedule for the day. And then it takes me about 20 minutes to, I just go out there and like scroll my feed or the discover feature to find some new content, some pieces of new content to interact with, something that is interesting for me to read. And I do a bunch of likes and a bunch of comments, like not more than 10 per day or something like that. It's really 20 minutes a day. And that's a routine that I have built in the morning or in the evening, depending on where and when I decided to write. So I tend to keep those separate because it's really, when I write, I need to have that flow state, and communicating with others distracts me. So if I'm going to write, I always write first and then communicate and engage with others second. And that's really it. It's less than an hour, maximum an hour, I would say. Most people overthink this, especially nodes. And they, especially if they don't have any experience with social media, with short form writing on social media. So you always have to have something controversial so that it has to be scroll stopping. That's the whole thing. But the problem is how to get to this. And the truth is that you don't have to go viral. You actually, from my analysis, it's best to not go viral, but get high engagement, because that brings you subscribers consistently. And then this grows, because whereas if you go viral, you have the spike and then you go down again. And that's not very motivating. But it's about 1 hour per day or something like that without the writing. So writing is something else.
Yeah. And then, like you said, there's 20 minutes of engaging. So you can make this easy. And I want you to understand, like, first off, you need to get into the Unplugged. Like, it's right below. I didn't even bury it in the show notes for you. Go get into Unplugged, maybe take the quest, take the challenges, but that's 20 minutes of a day engaging. I spend about 2 hours a week on my content. And then I go in for 20 minutes a day, sometimes 30, and just start conversations. And
Yes.
I don't even do it 7 days a week. I do it 5 days a week. So this
Yeah.
isn't a lot. And it's already brought in thousands of dollars for me. I don't have a huge audience yet. So the viral isn't
Yeah.
what I'm seeking and what most podcasters are seeking. It's that deeper connection that has the ROI. I've made a collaborator. Actually, I've
Yeah.
gotten 3 people now. You're one of them that I want to collaborate with something to help
Yeah.
my audience grow. And I think that we need to look at it like the virality we're leaving over on social media. We're going deep here and it's not hard. You're sitting on a content bank. So get into Unplug, get into the quest, do all the things because right now your podcast isn't the best asset that you have. But why
Yeah.
not have Substack work for you too?
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, there's also one thing that just happened to me recently, which is something you can never ever experience anywhere else. It's the chat feature of the community on Substack. And it's a group chat which I enabled to my Unplugged publication. And then one day I wake up and I see one of my founding members, Kathleen. So, Kathleen, if you watch this, thank you so much again for this. So she left a comment she started actually a thread in my chat and she said something about my quest and how great it is and that I am the best on the platform because I care about my paid subscribers and so on. I give so much value and the quest is amazing and so on. And people got excited and then other paid members started like confirming this and adding additional. It's like a test, like a thread of testimonials that started flowing in front of my eyes. That's something that you see in the morning, where you wake up, you didn't drink a coffee and you see this. And then one answer I see from a person that says, "Oh, so you say I have to become a paid subscriber to Yana?" Like, question mark. And then Kathleen said, "Duh." and then I checked this and then I checked my notifications on Stripe and I see I got a new paid subscriber and it was that person. So that's the power of the community that you can build on Substack. And I don't know any other platform that you can achieve that, honestly.
Yeah.
It's great.
So if you haven't noticed, you need to be in Yana's space and you need to be, I don't care if you're doing the quest. I mean, Substack, it's not expensive. It's not like, I know you all have some sticker price shock of these giant coaches that led you astray and stuff, but like everything is, I find overly reasonable, which I'm grateful for at this point in my business because I'm rebuilding and burned it all down to rebuild. But you're not going to get a sticker shock. I guarantee you won't. You'll be like, this is it. And I'm going to get all of that. Yes. Yes, you will. I guarantee 100%. And like I said, I haven't finished the quest, but the reason this podcast is going from podcast story selling to the podcast authority architect is because of the quest. The reason my Substack changed from story selling for entrepreneurs to built from story is because of the quest. The reason I got that paid person, not a subscriber, paid client from Substack is because of the quest. So if you don't get what I'm saying, you got to go join Yana in her community and space. So outside, they know they need to go to Substack. Is there anywhere else that you want them to find you, or is it just strictly hang out with me on Substack?
It's just Substack. This the place where I'm most active. I do have social media. I created accounts, but I automated all of this. So because I really love AIs and automations, I have built another part of the quest. It's called Quest Labs, which you also have access, like paid members also have access. It's where I talk about how I automated sales with some sequences that I have built on Kit. It's an external platform, but it's automatically connected to Substack, and it's sending automatically mails. And I have the exact structure and then the exact sequence and then the exact model and how you can replicate it to build something for yourself using AI, one of my AIs, of course. And this has brought me more than 150 paying subscribers on autopilot without anything. I also have I have built my own app, an automation app on a platform called make.com where you can, so it takes your latest published post or your latest published note and transforms it. That's the app. That's what the app takes And then I built some automations out of there with the built-in notes in make.com, and using AI to transform it into different posts for different social media. So I created pins for Pinterest, carousels for Instagram, even videos for Instagram as well, and for TikTok and for YouTube, and short form posts for X and for LinkedIn, and carousels for LinkedIn as well. And that's happening automatically. So I do have social media accounts, and I didn't believe that, but they are slowly growing even without any engagement from my side. And they do bring me some subscribers, honestly. And that's something that you can definitely build as well. I have one new automation, which is whenever I will write about it. I will post a new post in the labs. It's whenever I run a Substack live, because Substack is so kind to generate us short form clips out of our lives automatically. You don't have to do anything, you don't have to use any AI. Substack generates that for us. So I take those clips, I download them, and I put them in a folder of my computer, and then my automation looks that folder every day and posts them automatically to my Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And also Facebook, yes. And that's bringing me views and subscribers. And I even got one coaching client from YouTube. Actually, I didn't even started optimizing my YouTube channel yet, but I have subscribers already because of that. That's the power of technology that I also give to my paid subscribers to grow, because I'm a 9-to-5er. I want to do it in the shortest time possible, in the most efficient way possible. So I used AIs and automations to make this run. And I enable this for my paid subscribers as well.
Okay, I have something to look forward to. I'm excited. But from what you have just heard, you want to hang out with her over on Substack because that's where she's actually active. Everything else is automated. So the Substack that's on the top of the show notes, click and go. Do not pass go. This is what you need, because instead of having to hustle on all these other platforms, you have two long form platforms, your podcast and Substack. And I can guarantee you, it's bringing in business for me already. I built my whole business on having conversations on my podcast, and I forgot about it for a year. Business is built on people, and people are doom scrolling on social media. We really want to have these deep platforms. And I do think that right now, in this time, in a year, is this going to be the right platform? I don't know. But in this moment, in April of 2026, if you are a podcaster that wants to go deep, build, and kind of go back to where you can actually connect with people, get on Substack, get in Yana's space. If you want, go on the quest, at least participate in the challenges. If you do a challenge, let me know and we can create our own sub challenge, and maybe we can create something that's an extra push, because I truly think that even if you set it up wrong, like I did in the beginning, you can shift this into something magical. You just need the right guide. And I truly believe Yana is the right guide, and it's not based on skeezy sales techniques, period. End of story.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jen.
Is there any last little nugget you want to leave anyone with?
Yes, go all in on this. So that now is the time, and promote yourself and your stuff, because it's amazing, and more people should know about it. And Substack is really the best place to turn this into a business and scale your revenues as well.
Yes. Oh, mic drop.